Wow. Wow, JJ. You may have just directed yourself into a Razzie. This might be one of the most egregious failures of cinema history. Now, I just got back from watching The Rise of Skywalker, the latest installment in the Star Wars franchise, which is a beloved and cherished franchise that's known worldwide as I'm sure you guys watching have at least seen one Star Wars movie. There's no way you haven't seen at least one of them. I just got back from the most recent one, and I have a lot to say. But before I get too involved and too relaxed in this, I just need to say spoilers. There's spoiler alert, spoiler warning. I will be spoiling the movie in this video. There's no way for me to talk about this without spoiling it, because literally every issue is regarding the most pivotal moments of the film. So just, if you don't want to get spoiled, click off the video right now, but subscribe, because I do need those subscribers, and like the video, but just put it in your watch later until you've seen the movie. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've seen the movie, let's begin talking, alright? Let me get situated here. So Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. It's not as bad as all of the reviews you've probably seen of it. It's got 56 or something. Last time I checked, it was like 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it had like a 57 on Metacritic, and it was getting like terrible reviews left and right. I will say the critics are going a little bit too hard on it, in my opinion. I think it is not as bad as some critics have painted it out to be. Some people are saying it's the worst Star Wars movie ever. Literally, no. You're in over your own asses if you're saying this is the worst one. There are definitely worse ones, like The Last Jedi or The Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. This is definitely not the worst Star Wars movie, so you can rest assured. However, it is messy as It is, oh my goodness, there are so many plot holes here. Well, let me start, I guess, with Rey, because that is who this entire trilogy has been built around from the very beginning. You know, she's been like pretty much the protagonist of The Force Awakens, and she was the protagonist of pretty much The Last Jedi, you know, training with Luke, all of that wonderful, nice stuff. Sorry, I just need a little sip of my water. Rey is overpowered in this movie. She is way too overpowered in this movie. She's also she's also a Palpatine, which is dumb. I think the whole bringing back Palpatine shtick is, I think it came out of nowhere, and I know it came out of nowhere. You know, J.J. Abrams was like saying that, like, oh no, we had a plan to bring back Palpatine from the beginning. You know, like, from The Force Awakens, that was the overall goal, that was the overall plan. That is such bullshit. There's no way that was the plan. They do not explain, literally 0% explain that how Palpatine survived his death in Episode 6. They literally have never hinted about it until, like, this movie. Literally, I don't think there's been a single reference to the Emperor in this entire new trilogy. So literally, you can't tell me J.J. Abrams that you were planning this, because with this kind of thing, you need to lead up to it. You know, you can't just like boom, put it out of nowhere. But you've got to build up to it. So it just leaves us confused. Now, I will say, Ian McDiarmid is back as the Emperor. Thank goodness. There's literally nobody else could play except for him. Some people are trashing on him for this performance. Honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad. Like it's no Episode 3. It's no Episode 6. But the people are saying, like, this is the worst performance of his acting career. Give him a break. It's good. He's good. He's good in this movie. That being said, though, there's really no reason for him to be in the movie other than because Rey is a Palpatine, which they reveal like halfway through the movie. Also, like, Rey and Kylo Ren get in like 4 fights in this movie, and they do like half of those fights are like through teleportation. You'll get it when you watch the movie. It's kind of whack. It's very whack. It's whack. It's whack as shit. It's dumb. There's also like a bunch of like. There's like this one thing in like the beginning which they never bring up, by the way. They only bring it up once, and they only do it once, and it's in the beginning of the movie. It's called like hyperdrive skipping, or like light speed skipping or something. It's like where they like skip over hyperdrive, like they like skip over light speed tunnels, and like they jump from planet to planet, and like solar system to solar system, and like it's like, motherfucker, you literally pulled this maneuver out of your ass. We've never seen it in any other Star Wars up until now, and you just create it, and they don't even do it for the rest of the movie. They bring it up once, and they don't do jack shit with it for the rest of the movie. It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch. You literally will find yourself being like, no, that's dumb, that's stupid, this movie is stupid. And I felt, not only me, there were multiple people in the theater that felt like that along with us. Like half of the theater was like at this one part where I'm gonna spoil it. Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting, okay, and then Kylo Ren is getting the clear advantage on Rey, and she's looking beaten and worn, and I was like, yeah, yeah, Kylo Ren is like, he's coming into his shell, you know, he's being a badass and shit. He's literally in the position to strike her down, like her lightsaber is literally like filled to the side, and she's like weak, she's about to be killed. He's like about to strike her down, and then like Leia uses her force powers, which, by the way, I'll get into that later. She uses her force powers to connect with Kylo Ren's brain, and then she tells him to not kill Rey, and he's just like sitting there like, mother, like what? And then Rey takes the advantage and like grabs Kylo Ren's lightsaber and like stabs him. And then like just stabs him, and then Princess Leia dies, and she's literally, and it's like a confusing series of events just like unfold in like 5 seconds, and you're just like, wait, what did I just witness? And then to top it off, Rey feels bad for him, and she proceeds to use her force powers to heal his wound and bring him back to life. And that is not the only time that someone will use their force powers to bring another person back to life, alright? It's amazing how many times this movie defies logic itself. There's another scene where Rey is overpowered. Have I not mentioned that she's overpowered? She's the most OP character in goddamn cinema history. She's too powerful. I know there's people that have been criticizing her from the beginning of being a Mary Sue, you know, and stuff like that. And at that time, there was valid counter arguments, because what we had only seen of her was just regular Jedi stuff, you know, that we've also seen throughout the Star Wars movies, like Anakin and Luke do, just similar Anakin and Luke stuff. And we've been explained that that's like when someone is like force sensitive and stuff like that. And we see her get trained by Luke in Episode 8, The Last Jedi, and like we see her improving her lightsaber combat skills. We see her improving her force moving skills. The shit we do not see her do, and the stuff that's actual valid criticism, like where did you learn this kind of stuff? There's two glaring examples. One of them, and they both happen like 10 minutes apart from each other. The first one is, you've probably seen it in the trailers. It's where she's on the desert planet. I don't even remember. That's another thing. I will get into that also. There's too many planets on this. The movie it's too fast. The movie's too fast. It does not take breaks. The first 5 minutes, you travel to like 7 planets. It's insane how many planets you go to in this movie, and they don't even take time to build the planets. You don't even take time to get to know the characters on those planets, or what they do, or anything. It's just like, boom, there's this planet, boom, 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 there's that planet, boom, 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 there's that planet. I don't remember any of the planets' names in this movie. I can tell you what they look like. There's that one other desert planet that totally doesn't look like the other 4 desert planets we've had in Star Wars. You have that ocean Death Star planet with the horse lady on it. You've got that medieval tavern planet with Poe's girlfriend. You've got those are all the planets. Actually, no, there's the Sith planet. That planet was kind of cool. It reminded me a lot of the last episode of the Clone Wars. Anyway, so getting back to what I was talking about, Rey being OP. So it's the clip you've seen it in the trailer. It's where she's on the desert planet and Kylo Ren's in the TIE fighter, and he's coming towards her like super fast. He's like hovering just above just above the ground, and he's going super fast, and she's like ignites the lightsaber, and then she jumps over Kylo Ren's TIE fighter. It cuts off there in the trailer. What happens afterwards of that is she literally ignites the lightsaber while doing a backflip in midair and slices a piece of the wing off of his TIE fighter, which proceeds to have him the TIE fighter tumble through the entire rest of the planet and explode. And he survives. That's another thing. Kylo Ren, there are literally 3 times where Kylo Ren should have been dead and finished, finito, and he doesn't die. That's another thing, bro. I love Kylo Ren. He's like one of the only good things we've gotten out of this new trilogy. But he should have died at least 3 times in this movie. Yeah, getting back to, I'm still not done. You can see how frustrating. When I say that this movie is frustrating, you can see what I mean. I've been trying to cover this one topic about Rey being OP, and in that topic, I've had to go to multiple different other plot holes and things that are just overpowered and unexplainable. Oh shit. Oh, are we good now? It's insane. It's a tiring movie to watch. Although, if I was to point out some positives, I'd say that the music. Well, I mean the music. Whenever you're going into a Star Wars movie, the music's always going to be a hit. John Williams, God bless him, man. He makes some of the most moving pieces of art on the planet. There are some scenes that literally got lifted like 10 points just by the music. 10 out of 10 music. It's going to be like that with every Star Wars movies. God bless John Williams. Alright. Another thing, I'd say, the visuals. They're sinking billions of Disney dollars into these movies. There's no way they're not going to look good. So, like, I guess, yeah, the visuals are looking good. The acting is good. I mean, the actors give it their all. Finn, they did my man Finn so dirty, bro. They Finn could have been the coolest character in all of Star Wars. A stormtrooper that defects. He's an ex-stormtrooper. He sees the light of day. He sees how his fellow brethren have been brainwashed and tricked into serving the First Order. He could have completed his arc as the destroyer of the First Order, but he gets relegated to just jokes in The Last Jedi. And in this movie, I mean, they kind of do more with him, but it's still kind of disappointing. Like, he gets his horse lady girlfriend who's like just super random and comes out of nowhere. That's another thing. They got they had these 2 new people. It's one of them is Finn's horse lady girlfriend, and the other one is Poe's smuggler assassin girlfriend or something. I don't know. They just come out of nowhere. They clearly added them last minute. Let me see other positives. I'm really trying. I really wanted to like this movie. I really did. I'm a very optimistic guy. I always try to look on the bright side of things, you know. Oh, Babu Freak literally steals the show. It's this new character. He's literally like this tall. Okay, all he does is repair C-3PO's brain, but he literally steals the show. All right, Babu Freak. I think that was his name, bro. He's hilarious. He's majestic. He's a G. Kylo Ren. I was satisfied with Kylo Ren's completion of his character arc. I think his turn to the light side was done well enough that I could accept it. You know, I kind of called that he was going to the light side after episode 8. I was kind of like, you know, I think he might go to the light side, and I really liked how they did it though. However, what I didn't like though was how he died. All right, spoilers. He also dies, but if you're this far into the video, you clearly don't care about spoilers, all right? So I'm just gonna stop saying spoilers, all right? So Kylo Ren, how they mess it up is there's multiple scenes that I've described to you where the direction of the scenes just leaves you confused. So it's towards the end of the movie. Rey has come back from the depths of despair to defeat Emperor Palpatine. She gets mild help from Kylo Ren along the way, who's good at this point, and they meet Palpatine in his like Uber throne room on the Sith planet, and like he's too overpowered and drains both of their life energy into his own, and to become like the all-powerful Super Saiyan Lord of the Sith. He's like super uber powerful, but then Rey finds a power inside of herself that she is the last hope of the Jedi, and she comes back from the dead and takes her 2 lightsabers and deflects Palpatine's lightning back towards him, creating an explosion that kills Palpatine and kills Rey. And so Rey is dead and Palpatine is dead. But then Kylo Ren, who has just been thrown off of a cliff into lightning, decides to show up again. He's like, oh, I'm still alive at the edge of a cliff. You know, he comes back on the cliff. He's like, oh, boy, I'm still alive. He decides to show up. He goes over to Rey. Rey's dead. He picks up her dead body, you know. Her head goes back. Her eyes are emotionless. The bitch is dead. He then decides to use his force powers to restore life in Rey, and she awakes, alright, and then she kisses him, and he proceeds to finish draining the rest of his life into her body for her to live, and he dies in the process. What the fuck? And at that point, I was just like, people started laughing. We're just like, this movie is so dumb. It's so dumb. It's hilariously dumb. It might win best comedy at the Oscars. That's how dumb this movie is. Oh my goodness. There's so much wrong with this movie. Carrie Fisher, they did her dirty. They didn't even. I was expecting like a tribute to Carrie Fisher or something. Towards the end, but they didn't do anything. Even when she dies, after she dies, the Resistance literally like puts a blanket over her and like says for like 2 seconds, "Oh my goodness, rest in pepperonis, Princess Leia. You will be loved," for like literally 2 seconds, and then they just move on with their daily lives like nothing ever happened. It feels so bad that one of the most legendary actresses literally got like nothing in return in probably her final movie. This is the final movie that Carrie Fisher will ever be in, and they didn't even act like she was important. Feels wasteful. Anyway, I've been recording this video for about 30 minutes, and I don't want this to be too long, so I'm just going to say this. If you're planning on seeing the movie, honestly, go watch the movie and judge for yourself, because I think there is no better critic for your opinion than yourself. So if you end up liking the movie, good on you. That is good on you, and I would like to know. I really genuinely want to know what you found good about this movie. Leave it in the comments maybe. But if you're like me and many other people, it's just sad to see literally the most beloved movie franchise ever go out this way. This franchise deserved better. You know, I'm still probably gonna go see these movies just because I'm such a fan, and it's just genuinely hilarious seeing how much money you can spend setting a dumpster on fire. But like, why did it have to end like this? You know, I might make a more in-depth video on this movie when when it like comes out on disc and stuff later on, and like, you know, the hype has cooled down. But yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a final verdict of 6 out of 10, and that is being generous. That's being generous. And this is just keep in mind, this is after my first viewing, so maybe once I watch it again, it's gonna like get better or improve, or like these things that I'm gonna notice the second and third times watching it. But it's not in a good place right now, so I unfortunately have to say that this is how the Skywalker saga ends. Honestly, I would have preferred not for these new movies to not be made. Honestly, I think they kind of just screwed up the Skywalker saga. Honestly, the lack of planning is its biggest its biggest Achilles heel. The fact that they didn't have like a whole layout to say that, okay, this is like this character, all right, she's gonna go over here, this is her arc, this is her entire arc, she's gonna end up this, that's why this character is powerful, that's why that character does this. The fact that they had multiple different people, different directors go take it one movie at a time, be like, all right, let's focus on this movie, and not think about the end goal is just baffling. And I think that's literally what killed it in the end. So yeah, 6 out of 10. That's being generous. Star Wars is dead. Go watch The Mandalorian. This is Lagging Cactus signing out. Like, subscribe, share, follow, reblog, retweet. Thanks for watching.